Okay, let's, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Let's do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dan, will you say a few words first tonight?
Father God, I thank you for this day. Thank you for a new month, good weather. I pray that you will guide this board to make the right decisions for this village. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Dave,
Present.
Sandra, here. Rusty,
Here.
Greg,
Here.
Daniel,
Present.
Don,
Here.
Julie, here.
Let's, look at the, July council meeting minutes. Can somebody please approve them on there? You can.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes presented.
Second. Don,
Yes.
Julie, yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Sandra, yes. Dave,
Yes.
Rusty.
Yes.
Okay, let's, the July warrant reports.
Motion to approve.
Second, Hardwick.
Dave,
Yes.
Sandra, yes. Julie, yes. Rusty,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
July sewers, summary.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Griffith.
Rusty,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Julie, yes. Don,
Yes.
Sandra, yes.
Lastly, the credit card statement, July.
Motion approved. Wallace, second.
Dave,
Yes.
Julie, yes. Sandra, yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Now, this is going to be the public hearing, right?
Yep.
To consider certain code language changes to chapter 1107, plan development to require NCA participation and land dedication requirements into section 111503 to allow for gravel parking in limited circumstances. We'll have a 20-minute comment period. You have 3 minutes to tell us what you'd like us to hear. And we'll have no questions and answers from each speaker from council at this time.
I'll do a little intro if it's okay, Mayor. We've been considering these for a long time through planning and zoning. I know we've talked about it as council for members of the public. The first part about plan development is to require any applicant for rezoning plan development, they would have to join the village's NCA or new community authority up to 10 mil additional community development fee for those new neighborhoods. Developers for those new neighborhoods would also be required to dedicate 1,500 square feet of land per housing unit. I want to give a little bit of a additional note on NCAs. They were created with the intent of there being a developer community partnership. We don't know what the future may bring, but there are sometimes reasons where NCA fees may be levied on communities on behalf of the developer. We currently don't have any communities that have requested developer fees be added to those NCAs. It's not to say it can't happen in the future. This has not been established by council yet. We are waiting to see where the developers who have proposed building the community are at in their plans, because the village would partner with at least one of those developers to create the authority that would guide the developments in the future. So I can answer questions, but if the community has comments or questions.
What's the lifespan of the NCA for the developer? So I've been reading a lot of different NCAs out there. Some expire in 20 years, some 10, some 50, some unlimited.
Yep.
What's the lifespan for them to have?
Whatever they determine. So it is a very flexible mechanism. I know we have visited New Albany to see, I believe New Albany in the late 90s, early 2000s started with a residential NCA. Now 20, 25 years later, when we met with them, they're not really assessing anything on their residential NCA anymore because their business park is really providing that funding. So what's the reality? The board of trustees for the NCA, once it's established by council, can set the term as long or as short as it wants. It can set a short term and increase it. There's a lot it can do, but we have to remember that it's a public body as well as council. People are going to move to this community and want to know why they're being levied additional funds above and beyond everybody else. And so one thing Greg Daniels, our attorney, says is we need to have a good purpose and know when that purpose is met. And so the comp plan is really meant to feed that purpose. We're pretty sure we know some of the areas, law enforcement protection, sewer plant, the plan will look into our roadway infrastructure, our stormwater, and a lot of those things to give us a good feel for what you want that community authority to fund. And once it's met that need or if no new needs have come up, it can expire. If another revenue source, such as some type of industry, can offset it. What's my gut tell me? After 20 to 30 years, I think people buying houses that were new but aren't anymore are going to start wondering why they're paying more. And we probably are going to want to look at trying to sunset it in 20 to 30. But we don't know.
Just to talk a little bit about the gravel parking being limited to certain things.
Yep.
We're talking about the approaches being flat top or concrete, correct?
Correct. So this is something that the village has a vested interest in. We do have 2 new parking areas after some demolitions. Before we went in and decided we'd repave 2 new lots at probably a significant cost. We did want to start having a discussion with council and planning and zoning about, is this the right time in our future where we require paved parking? I know I have some concerns about our stormwater infrastructure as it is today and how it can support more impervious surface. When I talked to Terry, the previous administrator, one of the big concerns was how gravel can get into our catch basins and create those problems. So working with Alex at the street department, we really determined that if the rules around gravel parking areas are basically they're only allowed in the village central, residential, occupational, or PI, which is public institutional zones, they should be available for public parking. So even if it's a private lot, they should make it available at least on off hours for public parking. And they need to be curbed in, include an apron for approaches to try to contain that gravel. In lieu of a curb, I know the one on Clayton has a good 3 foot to 4 foot grass border that can also contain the gravel. So what planning commission can do, they don't have to do, is they can grant an exception to allow gravel parking as long as the conditions are met for containing the gravel. That exception would expire anytime that landowner requested a new zoning permit. So anytime they had to make a change, do any kind of work, they'd have to reapply. And the reason behind that, and thankfully Zach found a good mechanism for it, is there will come a time when we probably don't want gravel parking in our downtown or really anywhere in the community anymore. And how do we keep an exception granted today from lasting forever? And that's basically the way we determine if the work is. You request a permit, it's not saying you won't get your exception back, especially given wherever we're at in our, development timetable. But it's not guaranteed. And there may come a time where we as a village decide no more gravel parking anywhere, and that'll allow us to sunset those exceptions over time.
Let me ask you something, Rick, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but explain to everybody how people feel about the NCA. We haven't had any pushback from people, Senator, on the NCA.
No, I haven't heard any real input from residents themselves, one way or the other. There's been a little bit of angst, and I wouldn't say it's a terrible pushback to the NCA. I know, I'll say, I talked to MI, I said, let's be honest, you guys are gonna owe us this land dedication and this NCA. The only thing I heard is, well, that's higher than we've seen. I've seen maybe 7 mills, and I'm like, okay, so it's generally, when the topic comes up, and I presented this concept to both Schleybaugh, Arbor, and now MI as far back as last January. There was not significant pushback, but there's a little bit of hesitation. Nobody's tested the housing market in Centerburg yet. I think all of us sitting here are sure that the minute you build them, they'll probably sell. But there's a little bit of angst that is going to make it more difficult to sell the homes. My case to the developers is this doesn't impact their bottom line in the slightest. It costs the same amount to build the homes with the NCAs it does without. It's more of the people who move here, they'll pay a little higher taxes, basically. What have I explained to our development partners? I've said, I ran the numbers. In terms of Knox County, a 10 mil NCA would put us high in the property tax market in Knox County, which is right in the middle of the market in Delaware County, which is, I'm sure, where we all suspect a lot of our new residents will probably relocate. So my guess is they will probably move here and still have lower taxes with NCA. And again, it's not free money for whatever we want. It's really intended to address a sewer plant that we need because we're growing faster than we anticipated when we built it. It's meant for increased road usage. It's meant for, increased stormwater needs. So my goal or my mission throughout the process is I need to make a case to the Board of Trustees of the NCA that you establish that this is growth related and this is why we're collecting this money. And it would go the same for our schools and chief there, because I assume they have some needs as well. I didn't want to leave you guys out.
I was waiting for it. Can I get my 3 minutes? I've signed up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll go up to the podium and do it right. I like to hear development pay for development. I did a little homework, and I don't know whether you guys have looked at this or not, but you had mentioned a couple meetings ago about sewer tap fees of $5,000, and some of the developers might be interested in paying that up front. The sewer tap fees in Galena is $9,500. Sunbury is $8,100. Johnstown is $7,400. And Delaware County, which has their own sewer plant, is $8,100. Now, developments like in North Star, the developer adds $1,000 to that. So if you're building in North Star, that's $9,100 for sewer tax. You folks are at $5,000. When you want to talk about financing a sewer plant, you need to at least raise your fee now by $2,000. On 300 caps, that generates $600,000. You're way below where the market is. So I really hope you take that into consideration. Yeah, it'd be nice in a perfect world, reduce everybody else's sewer tap fee, but we know that's never going to happen. But we really take a strong look at that. Also on sewer taps, and I brought it up before, keep in mind, if a commercial project comes in, they want 18 months from the time to start, the doors are open. If you don't have your sewer capacity, if you give it all to residential, then they'll go elsewhere. And Julie commented that we need some kind of commercial jobs here to help keep some younger people here in the community. So please keep that in mind. And I'm glad to hear you finally say the schools, because an NCA, most of them share with the schools to keep the schools whole. MI may whine all day long. They just bought another 56 acres. And they're paying 8 mills plus one from the fire department for 20 years. And then it's 4 mills from that point on to be determined whenever. In the North Star area, it's 9 mills forever. So please keep that in mind when you're looking ahead. I just wanted to share those numbers with you because I'm not sure you've seen those, you've not compared. But your 5,000, Galena, very similar facility at 9,500, and they're selling houses as fast as they can. They don't have sewer capacity for what MI is wanting to do now. So yeah, just please keep that in mind. Shovel ready is a very important thing. And schools, you'll hear me every meeting, park for the schools.
I know.
I'm a school guy.
Yeah, if I can address that. So it's interesting. I did also have a bit of back and forth with new developers about our permitting fees, which we recently updated. And one of the things I've done with all developers is pointed them to Sunbury, where they're paying the same permit fees as they would in the village center. So I think one of the things we have to keep in mind is where our growth's coming from, where we're positioned compared to Columbus and the core of Central Ohio. You know, we will end up being higher than the rest of Knox County when it comes to some of these development requests, but I think the demand is there, and I don't think we're asking too much. And you know, I got our first rezoning check last week for the first development. No big problem there. So it wouldn't be bad looking back at our sewer tap fees. The unintended effect is everybody has to pay the same tap fee. That's just the rule, which means the minute we do raise them, the one-off house that wants to be built, you know, just outside the village, they're gonna pay a larger tap as well. But I think it is an area we should probably look at. I think we passed our rates a few years ago. I think there was a study done. It was set well, and at that time it was a set tap fee with an increase every year by, I believe, 2%. But nothing prevents this council from revisiting that now. I will say that we need to be cautious with probably developments in the pipeline versus ones that come after the fee. We need to have some thought about that, because what we don't want to do is make it look like we've given an indication that you can annex land, potentially develop on it, and then slap a bunch of fees on. I don't know what the case law is around that, but it seems like it could open us up to problems. But maybe not, I don't know. That's a question I can ask.
Well, so a thought, right, is to say, hey, you know, once you decide to move forward with a rate increase or a tap fee increase or whatever, is you say, hey, we're raising rates this day. If you have lots that are developed or whatever, you can pay your tap fees ahead of time. And if you don't pay them ahead of time, now you're subject to the new fees. You give them 2 months,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever. And
I will say this, we are hitting a wall on capacity. We know this. I met with the engineer from B3 who's been working on our comp plan. Just to tell you this, he believes there are some current upgrades that can be done to the existing plant that could buy us additional capacity in a short order. How much? He indicates potentially 50% more, just without a full expansion. Then we still move forward. To Mr. Weed's point, we are going to need a lot more sewer capacity if we're going to attract commercial industrial at some point in the coming years. Again, nobody is coming to us with commercial retail, let alone commercial industrial projects at this point, but it is expensive to rely completely on residential households for your municipal income. So,
If I could make one comment on that,
yep.
price of land is pushing them here.
Yeah.
There is a daycare center, an upscale daycare center, that buying 3 acres just paid $500,000 an acre, down by 36, 37. The Mercedes people paid $325. So if you get a light, clean manufacturing facility, there's a labor market here they can tap into. They don't have the price that they have to pay down there. So again, it's something, you don't have anything today, but your phone will ring tomorrow. And that's what happens.
Bring it to us, Dave, we'll fix them up.
I have told a couple people, I get once a week, but they're searching, they're looking, in Delaware County, everybody's, trying to see what they can give them to get it.
We got people call all the time,
Yeah,
but nobody brings the cake.
well, if you get 10% of the calls, you're very, very successful. Okay. I'm
Well,
done.
and the case I made,
That horse.
and I had a brief conversation with Ryan, actually probably more of a text conversation, is I said, an NCA is never gonna fund a $28 million school expansion. It's not. So if we hit a point where we need a school expansion, we need some kind of industry to support that. And so, it's an area that's confronting us, I think, faster than we would like, but yes, they believe they can do some upgrades in the plant to get us capacity. I believe because of our limited capacity, you're gonna see approved developers prepaying their tap fees upfront. At our current rate, with what we have available, which is about 350 homes, it's about $1.75 million in tap fees we could collect pretty quickly, which could be turned around into planning. Or if we put 9,500, that's nearly 3 million.
I really hope you do take a strong look at that quick, because until it's platted, it's not done.
Yeah.
The application is in, but there's been no discussion of sewer taps. You can change those taps. Delco Water has a very good business model, and they collect that tap today for what they're gonna spend tomorrow. They are very good at it. You got a lot of money in the bank for co-op.
Well, and I've talked to Chris and Stacy with finance about this. We have not typically sold enough taps for it to matter much, but we are going to create a special capital improvement fund where tap fees go, because the thing I've seen is that if you just put it into your general sewer budget, it looks like operating revenue, and we want to make sure it's segregated in a way that we don't spend it on anything but major improvements. So I would see by the end of this year legislation creating a fund for sewer capital improvements to come. And Chris is here this week, so we'll talk.
Okay, 6:26.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Over at the farmer's market, we give out senior tokens from the senior task force. And, they get $6 worth, they have to be Knox County residents. So just last week, this couple came up and they give us a driver's license, and they go, "Oh, you don't qualify, you're from Lewis Center." "Oh, no, here's my address change." So they're living out on Wilson Road. And a couple weeks before that, same thing, "Oh, you don't qualify, you're from Lewis Center." "No, we're on Wilson Road." So that's where they're coming from. And they got their senior tokens.
Good.
Good on the sewer almost, right?
No, we don't.
Okay, is that all the comments we have about the zoning? Sure, we'll put the tap fee increase in the paper tomorrow and Rick's phone will ring off to them.
I gotta do something.
Okay, let's go to reports.
Do we have any general public participation outside of the public hearing?
The only one that put yes was Mr. Meach.
Okay, just checking. Sorry, Mary.
Sorry. None of that stuff. All right, you're on next, Rick, with the behavior.
So the high points we hit during the work session, you should have my written report in the packet, but I'm available to answer any questions if you have them. Oh, I did not get an engineering report as of today, but as soon as I get that from Steven, I'll email him. Okay, Zach?
Nothing in addition to the submitted memorandum for this month.
Fiscal officer,
Stacy didn't tell me that she had anything. I will say, one of the things that her and Alex have been working on is the cost of our Starlink connection at the plant has gone up each month for the past few months. So they're digging into that. We think it could be a data usage cap that we just need to increase. So I would probably see the Starlink connection, which I think is listed as $80 on the credit card report, going up a little bit.
chief,
Evening, council, solicitor, VA. Real quick, probably the high points, since I saw you last, is we have a new, at county level, a new 911 director. So that's a big change. Laura retired Friday and with full honor. And she is glad to be with her family more. But Rick Lanuza, the former, Rick was the chief of Fredericktown EMS. Was very instrumental. We operate what's called CAD, computer aided dispatching. Very instrumental when we put the new CAD in play 6 years ago. So I think it's going to be a pretty smooth transition. I like the fact that you use them outside, kind of give everything a good look. So we're real excited with that. You probably saw on Knox pages, they weren't going to advertise it. We're the 22nd county in the state of Ohio to go with next gen 911. So that's pretty progressive if you look at there's 88 counties. So not speaking for Rick or the 911 center commissioners, the big thing is that there'll be some texting capability with 911 now. Future down the road, you'll be able to share hopefully video and pictures and all kinds of stuff. So that's pretty good. The fire department, as we move through some things, past month we spent a lot of time updating a lot of our billing information. The fire department, we do what's called soft billing, which is if we transport anyone, they will access if there's anything on your insurance. So let's say in this case, $100, they would bill your insurance. If the insurance, you don't even have insurance, there's no bill. And there's no, the average cost of our responses are about $1,300, a little over $1,300. So, and that's been in place for, I think, almost 15 years. So real no change in that, but we have to do Medicare, Medicaid, and a lot of updates through every other year. We replaced 2 AEDs. I noticed one thing, some people didn't know what an AED was. It is an automated external defibrillator. We're going to try to get one for the building here. They run about $3,000 almost per device. Every one of our non-ambulances have an AED in them, so whatever truck shows up has basically the same thing to defibrillate your heart if it needs it. It works very much like what you see on the TV. You see them in the school, you see them in the churches and so forth. So we just had to replace 2 of those. We are special events, obviously the parade, which for us, I try to explain is we operate on 3 different levels at the USA Day Committee. We have the fireworks for us starts about 11 o'clock in the afternoon and then ends the next day at 9 a.m. where we go back and recheck the sun. So it takes at least one person all the time with the fireworks when they're here. Then we also have the first aid station that's in the park. And then we also have to provide the usual community services that we normally do. So it's just, everything went real good. I think we've had a couple work sessions afterwards, thanks to the VA, and that's been great. And other than that, we just continue to move ahead with fleet maintenance and so forth, and everything's going very well. We're hired 3 new part-timers, so that'll bring the part-time staff back up to 6, which is great, and maybe look forward to trying to sneak 1 or 2 more on after the second draw, see what that looks like, and the board will decide. So that's all I have, Nathaniel, unless you have anything else.
I'll just say, considering some of the meetings we had last year, it's gonna be good to have a AED here.
Yes. I agree, and every public building probably should have one, but it takes time, and there's a maintenance with them and all that, so,
Will that come with training? You train all that you
yes, we sure will. There's a church that for the senior center, we're gonna try to access. It's a great story, but at the end of the day, it's not a local church. It's within, I think, the edges of Ohio and Indiana. And she just started a program and raises money, and we're gonna see what we can do.
How many full-timers do you have on staff now?
Pardon me?
How many full-timers?
On company, what we call company, which is the folks you want to see, not the guys in the white shirt. We have a total of 12 full-time. And then there's Chris and I that are full-time, and then 6 part-time. And the board is authorized up to 12 part-time. Anything else?
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's roll right into the old business unless anybody has anything else. Our first ordinance, been hanging around a while. It's 2026-20, an ordinance amending the codified ordinances to allow the correction of the scrivener's errors by the clerk. This is the third reading, so we need a, yeah.
Motion to approve. Wall, second.
Julie?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Rusty?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Pass.
Okay, the next one's ordinance 2026-22, an ordinance amending section 1115.03 of the codified ordinances to allow for gravel parking in limited circumstances and declare an emergency. So that is to waive the 3 readings and then to pass it.
What's the reason we have?
So I will say the village is under a temporary agreement for the gravel lot on Hartford that expires in October. I would like to bring our application to get an exception for both of those lots by September at the latest to see if the commission will grant that exception. I can't actually bring an application if the language hasn't changed yet. So we've done the required public hearing and this is its second reading. I was hoping we could get it passed so we can move forward.
Motion to waive 3 readings.
Second.
Sandra?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Dave?
Yeah.
Rusty?
Yes.
Pass. Vote.
Motion to approve ordinance 2026-22.
Second.
Daniel?
Yes.
Rusty?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes.
Dave?
Yep.
Okay, the next one. Ordinance 2026-23, an ordinance amending chapter 1107 plan developments of the codified ordinance to include new community authority requirements for plan development, zoning classifications, and declare an emergency.
So on this one, I did mention in my administrative report, given that we do have some movement on rezoning applications, I do feel that if council feels comfortable passing this today, it would provide some closure to the question of whether there will be an MCA or an identification requirement to those developers currently working. So that's why I would ask for it to be passed as an emergency.
Motion to waive the 3 readings.
Second.
Sandra?
Yes.
Rusty?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Julie?
No.
Daniel,
Yes.
Move to pass. Second.
Julie,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
Sandra.
Yes.
Pass.
Okay, resolution 2026-22. Resolution authorizing the village administrator to enter into a lease agreement with the Knox County Commissioners for the Midway Station and Memorial Park Trailhead projects and declare an emergency.
Mayor, I'd amend that just for the second reading.
Oh, you don't want to waive it or pass it? Okay. And last but not least, 2026-22, a resolution authorizing the village administrator to enter into a lease agreement with the Knox County Commissioners for placement of the DKMM recycling bins on village property. This is the first reading.
Just to clarify, so the agenda says 22,
It's
it
23.
says 23. I see.
There's,
Minor detail.
that's what threw me what?
A Scrivener's error.
Right, yes. Same for Scrivener's.
Okay, now, roundtable. We'll start with Julie. Daniel?
Yeah, I was at a meeting last month and someone mentioned the state bid for salt contract. And I don't have the exact numbers, they were going off memory, but it sounds like it's going to be multiple times higher than the price was last year. So salt's gonna be expensive.
What meeting were you in?
Well, I can't say, RPC.
So I actually am behind on this discussion. I know they had to bid Knox County like twice. Did they finally get a contract?
I haven't heard that. The person said they didn't have to.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But, I mean, my personal opinion is it's okay if people learn how to drive when it's icy out. And salt's expensive, it has an environmental impact. And you have less of an environmental impact and learn how to drive, that'd be just fine.
I agree with you, Daniel, but
All in moderation.
everybody has to get to pay taxes.
The pay tax.
We gotta tax, we gotta spend it on something.
The sad part is that we've depleted the salt mines in Cleveland actually every year. And Norton Salt's not producing as much salt as well. So a lot of our salt, I think, came from Turkey last year.
Really?
Turkey's already pretty salty.
Yeah.
Put that in paper, I
Don, you have anything after that?
All of that.
No, I think the only thing that I'm concerned about, talking to a few of the residents, is the control growth. That, it should, again, fit what the village is looking at in terms of maintaining our history and the reason people come and move here. And, not to be like most counties have to look out just because of township. So, that's it.
Sandra?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about something. Okay, in there, okay. I don't know how many get on Facebook. I mean, we all do. All the things, but I just want to, plug Alex's wife. She's gone out there, and she has, you're seeing all these little back roads, bakeries, stands pop up around our area. And she's done this, map for the, area that I think right now there's 11 on there.
Yeah, let's do it every Tuesday.
And it's, around Centerburg, Ridgeville, some
We're
of
just
Florida,
around.
and Mount Liberty. So if you get on there, I think it's Backroom Bakeries, and you
Okay.
can see that, and they usually have them out there on Fridays and Saturdays if there's anything left. And so you might want to write down some of those addresses and drive around the village. So she also, when we had our SpongeBob movie Saturday night, she made cookies up there, gave them out, and they were SpongeBob. I don't know what they both were, and I don't know SpongeBob, but they were really good and they were cute.
You don't know SpongeBob.
No, I don't. But we had pretty good attendance. I think there were about 6 or 7 different families that showed up and had their kids there. So that was really good. And on that, Megan has done a wonderful job advertising all this and getting everything going. And we need to get really signage. I know I think we've talked to you about it, Rick. But when we did it 2 weeks ago, it was Santa Claus came to town and Mrs. Claus. And then it rained instead of snowed, and so she had to move to the village room here. 7 or 8 people showed up. We gotta realize that a lot of people don't get on Facebook. They don't. And so we need to get some sort of signage. We're using that board across the street to advertise what's going on. So if we work with zoning or whatever, something's enough.
If you had something to put in the park down by the playground, probably garner a lot more young.
Okay.
Yeah, so we, Park National sponsored the bulletin board at the between the bricks. I think we could easily do a bulletin board somewhere down in the park. But I still like the idea of finding a way to do some digital signage, maybe even at the street garage. Because yes, when plans change, it's a little hard to get the word out. Now, the 2 bulletin boards we can post on, but usually this is happening in the last 6 hours before an event kind of things.
And the movies are pretty neat. They really are.
Yeah, so I wasn't here. Did they make it all the way through the movie before it rained, or did they have to cut it short?
And we need it all the way through.
Like,
But what rain we had was very little. That's all I have.
We can have the bulletin boards at the post office and the grocery store too.
Yeah, what I feel like with those is there's so much there all the time. Eventually, you just walk past them.
It'll catch. It'll
I think the signs make you.
have to be consistent with it.
That's it.
Rusty.
Yep, so to back up Sandra's thing about the Alex's wife's baked goods, the Rusty Redhead 2-year anniversary this week, and we'll be serving pumpkin rolls from her as well, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as far as, just downtown, right? Like the people traversing through downtown on a Saturday and Sunday is unbelievable. It's so cool to see. Obviously I'm a business owner, but beyond that, it's kolaches and the cafe and everything. It's just so cool to see people in Centerburg doing stuff. Where before it was just, there's not a festival or a ball game, there's nobody in town. So I know
We're not using stuff on.
yeah, no, exactly. It's phenomenal. I've not made it to Between the Bricks, but thank you for what you do there. Because
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park is the next movie.
Bring the dinosaur costume.
I think I got that.
Yeah.
That's all I can.
Thanks, Russ. Dave,
Yeah.
you have anything?
You said it all.
I just want to say Megan's doing a fabulous job on the bricks. And Rusty's right. Things have picked up downtown. Okay. So with that said, do you have anything else? You have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Retired Chief Joe Porter.
That is not important, Chief.
I said if we were to continue to stop putting on the tire.
So listen to this, so my boy bought a bike off of Joe that he had on Facebook. And my boy shows up to pick up this bike, and he texts Tyler Griffin and says, and I tell you what, you're such a good guy.
There it is. There it is.
Nice boy. Tyler texted me, and just, every guy I think he's up to Joe Tyler. What are these?
I got stuck. We got a bunch of pizza left. And it was like, yo, you can't eat all the pizza.